Hello, I'm Paul Wood, sitting here in my office today. So today we're going to speak about the physiological aspects of anxiety. Yep, so what you know is that when your body releases stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, it engages your sympathetic nervous system. And this sends messages to every organ in your body, your immune system, yep, to function differently than it does when our parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which is our rest, relax, and kind of optimum healing recovery side of our nervous system. So when this side of our nervous system is activated enough, then we're in perfect homeostasis and we feel great in ourselves. But when the sympathetic nervous system is activated a little too much, whether it's too much stress, too much anxiety, what'll happen is the kind of wearing down effect. So the sympathetic wears down our body, this side builds our body up, and they work in balance with each other. So the reason why every health problem that exists, if you look at the causal factor, stress is always a causal factor, an attributory causal factor to every health problem. The reason is because of that simple understanding that we cannot, our nervous system isn't balanced when we're in a stress state. Yep. So therefore, over time, there's certain optimum choices and changes and recovering. I'm not explaining this very well, but yeah, actions that would be going on in our body that just simply cannot go on when we're in a highly stressed state. Why? Because the messages are only sent to our body when we're in a parasympathetic state. And when we're continuously stressed, what happens is this side becomes more dominant in tone than this side. Yep, leading to our body becoming more and more worn down, more and more stressed, more and more tense, more and more imbalanced, and then people can have all kinds of strange symptoms from it. People can have skin disorders, people can have insomnia, people can have all kinds of stress-related problems. Almost any problem can be stress-related. Why? Because when we're stressed, we're simply not in our optimum state. Our body is in a worn-down survival state where our body then has to prioritize what functions it does to keep us alive, but not what functions it does to help us function our optimized best in every way. So sleep, obviously, isn't effective or doesn't work particularly well when we're stressed. Why? Because we need to activate our parasympathetic state when we're asleep to rest, relax, and heal our body. When we're jacked up on our sympathetic state, our body either won't switch off when we try and go to sleep, or when we go to sleep, it'll be too sympathetic, so we won't get deep sleep and we won't feel good in ourselves. Or during probably the hours 1 to 3 a.m., our body goes from burning fatty acids to glycogen. Yep, and when it does that, it releases a small amount of adrenaline. Now, the people who are obviously adrenaline junkies and are stressed and anxious all day long, when their body releases adrenaline, it overstimulates their nervous system and they wake up during that. So if you wake up during that period of time, now you know why. So, sleep is incredibly important, isn't it? Massively important. So one of the most important changes that happens when people recover from anxiety is you create dominance again in your parasympathetic side of your nervous system, which means that we then sleep deeply, we feel relaxed in ourselves, we feel comfortable in ourselves, we feel good in ourselves more and more, and it allows our body the opportunity to deal with any nasty physiological or health problems that have come up, due as a tributary factor due to our anxiety. Yeah, which is also the reason why autoimmune diseases, most autoimmune diseases are linked to stress to some degree, and the reason is because when this side of our nervous system engages too much, yep, it also releases several different chemicals and hormones that cause our body to not be able to function in a way that I can't remember the name of it. It's like BDNF1 or something like that, which basically what it does is it stops our body being able to repair itself in the right way. Yeah, and then when our body doesn't repair itself properly, instead it attacks itself and it just goes round and round and round in a vicious cycle. I explained that poorly, but I'm not a doctor, but I did my best. Yeah, cool. But it's knowing in ourselves, isn't it? If you want to, get back to your optimum best, so that maybe your hormones are more balanced within yourself, or your sleep's more balanced, or you feel great in yourself, or you've got some secondary health problem like a skin disease or something like that. Yep, that you feel stress is exacerbating and making far worse in yourself, then when you recover from anxiety and when you put your mental health first, it gives your body the opportunity then to heal, restore, and rebalance out any of these changes. Now, depending on the disease, depending on the problem that you have, I had chronic autoimmune, which I still have to a certain extent, chronic autoimmune disease for a long time. And the problem is when a problem becomes chronic is that even a low level amount of stress and anxiety can then set off the condition. Yeah, so the worse the condition gets, the smaller amount it takes to make the condition worse. That makes sense? Yeah. So with myself, then I had to look at it from a really, really high standard where I didn't want any stress or any tension or anything in my life at all. I wanted to take care of myself at the highest level I possibly could to give my body the best chance to recover. And because of that, my body's healed far, far more than it would have done if I'd have still lived in that stressed or tense state. Cool. Well, I hope that's helped. I hope that's kind of given you some clarity over how those things work and how, sleep, basic functionings like sleep, or how hormones function, or how we feel in ourselves, is continuously put out of balance by living in a highly chronic, stressed, or anxious state. Take care.